let's take a look at the picks and the bans as we bring them up right here and see how this might play into the storyline that we're seeing here. Corrupted Keep's going to be our first map, picked by K1llsen. Dramis is going to throw Ruins into the ring, and then Awoken as the final matchup. What was the ooh?
It was the Slash versus the Galena on Ruins. That is quite a dynamic. Yeah, across the board, pretty decent. That's the only one I'm going to concentrate on, just because obviously the speed differential is there. We know from experience Dramis favors playing either with a heavy champion like K1llsen, just to really use that stack and bully his opponent.
Hast reingemacht, absolut verdient. Etwas hochnäsig am Ende das Interview von dir, aber absolut proud. Hochnäsig? Was waren da hochnäsig? Yes, Tatanka. 14 years old son.
And then just play slow, and that's not what I see from Dramis. He's capable of it for sure, but it's not what I see. Whereas K1llsen with that slash can open up the angles of the rail, and if he does string them together, it's a lot of pressure. So we need to see the more clinical side of Dramis there, not the flashy execution. And that's why it's a bit of a strange one for me.
Naja, das konnte aber auch jeder sehen.
So we're going to skip that little bit and see what, it's like you said there, at some point, if he gets to a best of 7,
das war ja ein Fakt.
And Dramis, he bans Insomnia. I don't think he's
hey,
banned
Caesar.
it because K1llsen's not very good at it. He's just banned it just for his own sake, because some of K1llsen's worst maps has been sometimes on the likes of DM Ruins, but it depends on the circumstances.
Und dabei habe ich gesagt, dass zumindest spielerisch gesehen, wie ich meine Gegner bespielt habe, schon auf einem krassen Niveau war. Allerdings das gesamte Zusammenspiel noch nicht so geflutscht hat, wie es mal war. Aber da habe ich seither auch nie wieder hingefunden, leider. Und genauso habe ich das ja auch gesagt. Die Finals waren mega geil. Hat mich gefreut, dass du gewonnen hast. Immer wieder schön, dir zuzusehen. Hat sich das Game auf LAN besser? Ja, auf jeden Fall. Also ein bisschen. So 50% besser, als es sich online anfühlt. Who's your favorite player to grab a beer with?
And I'm going to throw it back to you as to what your head and your heart is saying.
I think the head prediction.
I mean, you kind of have to say Spotty. Spotty is always fun. I have one. We are drinking out there.
But
tell us good night. I have to focus, as I have a match to play tomorrow.
With K1llsen, we saw, I think, the comfortableness of Dramis. So I think there's a partially the heart prediction that's like, yeah.
Crazy hattest du definitiv das volle Game und das war schon eine krasse Form. Und dann sage an den Champ-Titel.
Ja.
Right, and I'm gonna leave it with a quote that Dramis himself.
Aber besser geht immer.
I was like,
das ist halt das Ding.
He played really, really well.
How did you feel on the last round? You're talking about the grand final or the last map of the grand final? Spielt der Sohn denn auch FPS Games oder interessiert ihn das nicht? Für die Kids ist so, also nach wie vor so ein bisschen zumindest. Ja, Fortnite und Warzone sind sehr angesagt bei denen. Quake ist nicht so appealing für die.
So I'm going to agree. I'm going to say 2-1 K1llsen just because I think it's the logical thing to do. But like you said, this could easily be a 2-1 Dramis, and I think K1llsen a little bit stressed.
Yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 K1llsen as well. I think it's going to be that safe bet.
The last map on the final.
It's like I said, Dramis, like, we're not too sure if he's the kind of player.
Good, comfortable actually. I had a clear game plan and made it work.
Oh God, we know this is going to be a bit of a risky stake.
14.
Make like one wrong move or very little error, and it's just like one of those things. And it's nice
14
because
Jahre.
Dramis on stage, doesn't matter what kind of environment he's in, he's happy, he's ready to go, doesn't care who he's up against. He's just ready to get Larry on stage and ready to really give it his all against K1llsen.
Well, this quarterfinals is seconds away from beginning. Gentlemen, enjoy yourselves and take us into this match.
Thank you, Wheat. We do start, having spoken about rail all class long, on a map without rail, Lethal. We're starting on Corrupted Keep. We often talk about K1llsen being his rail heavy player, but he is actually somebody who specializes back in the days of Lost World. He was a favorite there too. He loved these maps where he could have that mid-ground.
Yo, Raikkoon, thanks for the resub. Welcome back to the K1llsen fam. Ja, ja, nee, so ein paar Sachen, die waren schon gut gespielt, keine Frage. Da wäre auch nicht viel mehr gegangen. Aber Dennoch hatte ich die Dinge 2019 bei der QuakeCon insgesamt. Obwohl ich hier und da mir eine Niederlage, als wir gegen alle ja gespielt haben, eingefangen habe, hat das gesamte Zusammenspiel und das Knowledge, was ich auch hatte im Spiel, das war nochmal tatsächlich ein Tick höher. I've just been saying that back 2019 QuakeCon, my shape, like the overall flow out of the game, like I knew so many things about my opponents, about every single one of my opponents actually, you know? Like, if they didn't appear in a certain amount of time in one area, then I knew, like, to 100% or almost 100% sure what they have been up to if, you know, if just things didn't happen the way sometimes they are, you know? Like, it was insane. Like, my readings, QuakeCon 2019, was really on just on a different level. I never ever reached that kind of shape. Maybe it's also maybe that's just a misthinking of myself actually. But there was so much comfort in playing my opponents, and that feeling I had playing all of my opponents. Was it a different mindset? Possible. But things have been a little easier on Quake Champions also, I would say. Because Rock didn't have slide, so he wasn't picked as often. Escina was not as good back then. So there were also champions and picks people didn't do. Made you know, readings with picks and bans a little easier throughout the games. I think all these things did matter a little bit. Made me feel more comfortable. And now you have even more champions you need to have on the list that can, you know, can be OP on some maps. So it might make things a lot trickier to deal with, to be fair. Was Asina even in the game back then? I think she was. But she wasn't. She really wasn't played as much. Like, absolutely not. I've never seen you on land so calm and composed. Oh, you should have seen me 2019. I was like focused the first day the event started. I was like 10 days early in America to bootcamp practice at the Java Gaming Cafe, and yeah, I was just so ready, like really. Maybe it's just a mindset thing, really. Thanks, Dr. Peng. You prefer Blood Run or Insomnia? Blood Run, any day. Of course, Blood Run. Yo, Shine. Thank you very much for the sub and welcome to the K1llsen fam. Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Quake Champions, actually. Herfy Durfy. Really. I love playing Quake Champions. I would favor round base even more, but I can understand, like, logistically, it's difficult to deal with so many overtimes within the matches. So I'm not grabbing the belt yet. Defu, I did. One last question: do you use the G Pro via hero? G Pro via hero. It was not really a big change going from the one sensor to another.
Player on the LG, the hit scan, and just had that deep control like we saw from Wenger earlier. But saying that, he's going up against someone that won't be afraid to go toe-to-toe. He's gone in early with the Pika, stolen away now that Mega as well, and we're just going to reset for a pretty standard opening.
Yeah, the map picks have just been very interesting alone. Like, K1llsen didn't go for like one of his best choices. He just went for what Dramis has worst, and he's clearly done a lot of research in order to make sure that he can apply a lot of pressure even before the match even begins. And again, using that range with that heavy machine gun from Dramis, looking pretty good so far, and ready to pick up that Mega.
Here already, if I would have been a little quicker, I could have attacked the Mega Half already and kill him. But, you know, also he's Strock, and once Strock is in like full control of the map, it's really tricky at some points to get back on the map, you know? So I didn't want to risk that. Not like I did against Standard King, you know? I didn't want to do the same mistake twice.
As Heavy's also been taken away too much in terms of timing here. K1llsen just throw a few rockets at him as Dramis just standing his ground, even though he doesn't have the stack advantage. But so looking good so far, just dicing around, just trying to feel each other out here, and it's not too shabby from both players.
No, Dramis is definitely on the back foot, not able to gain any momentum, any items at the moment, but at the same time, he's not giving up too much damage to K1llsen.
I also, you know, I noticed I could have dealt damage like this moment already on the Mega Half. I could have shoot my orb through the door close to the Mega, right? And then while Dramis takes the Mega and exits the Mega area, I could have done damage to him. I mean, I would have used my orb, yes, but I would have had the better position to do a lot of damage onto him actually. Maybe it would even led to a kill.
And he's beginning to stabilize. The hard part about playing against K1llsen is that you know what he's going to do. He's going to set up on that mid ground. He's going to play slow.
Clutch.
Use the audio cues. The question is, how do I counter that? It's so difficult, and not many people have the recipe.
It always will be.
Dramis saying that is now beginning to build himself a nice little stack. Got himself the Mega, and you can see pretty much bang on even now. In fact, Dramis is slightly ahead in terms of raw stack. He's got himself over to the heavy side of the map very, very early. Items are on the same time lethal, so they will just trade for now, and it's a very good and respectful.
You said something about using some new gear after the finals. You still planning on changing stuff? Oh man, after things in the end went so well, I'm not sure. Never change a running system, right?
Respectful opening, saying that K1llsen's being proactive here. He's got a little bit of a delay.
Yeah, still just currently working out each other's rotations. We know how much of a pain in the backside Strog can be without peeking in this matchup without the rail.
Man, Clutch is fucking broken. Fast, you know, biggest stack in the game. Shield damage reduction ability. And the fastest champion in the game. Like... He's an insane combination, you know? Yo, Flowy, thanks for the raid, man. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Which mouse did you use in this tournament? I mean, I didn't change my mouse, you know? Like, I would never do that shortly before the tournament. I kinda had to change my mousepad already, which gave me a bit of a struggle.
2 minutes in, K1llsen just...
Yeah, I just kept using the G Pro wired G Pro Hero. Whoa!
Danke für den Hansen content on Spannenden matches. Congrats zum Puppy.
Wow, thank you. Ich kann deinen Namen nicht mal richtig sagen, ey. Das ist... Hier ist... IA. Ja. Mach ich mal so. Ich habe auch nicht getrunken. Vielen Dank für die 3000 Bits, Mann. Dankeschön. Vielen Dank. Ja, und ein doppeltes Danke natürlich. Ja, die habe ich leider... Ich glaube, ich habe nur einen Teil gespielt. Deshalb ist mir das nicht so geläufig. I mean, I did try the G Pro Superlight for a while, but I don't like its default shape. Like, you know, it's just too thick for me, really. Like in the middle part, it's too bulky. So that's why I don't like using it. I don't feel as comfortable moving it around, you know. I did, and I do have the G303 Shroud Edition. I like it more than the Superlight, but it's a little too big overall, you know? If it would be a bit smaller, it would be better even for me. So, and I did play like both for quite a while. And after I struggled for too long, I just said to myself, okay, I'm just gonna go back to what has been worked in the past already, which was the G Pro Wired, yeah, I also made it work, you know? Like, I made it work. Have you tried Caesar's Aerox or Prime? No, I don't. I mean, it's not like I'm buying, you know, left and right. I mean, I always, most of the times, I use the mouse until it's not being produced anymore. Like, that's necessary. I played the G9X, you know? Until it didn't get produced anymore. Then I changed to the G301, I think was the first version of it. But there was like issues with the sensor being a little loose. There was issues with, you know, buttons, like the switches being bad. Then there was the G303. So they kept upgrading the mouse like over and over again because it had certain like certainly it like many issues actually right off the beginning. But overall, I really like the shape. Like, it's smaller than the G303 Shroud Edition. It you know, it comes very close to the G Pro Hero Wired version, actually. So that's why I also liked it. And also the past showed me that with flatter mouse, I just, you know, manage to play just more comfortable with my aim. So
the heavy, and K1llsen's got his LG ready, finds him, uses the Pika instantly, but the Pika also gets taken out in just the same amount of time.
Okay.
So Mega's up as well. He does manage to grab that. The item's still not perfectly in sync, but not enough time to.
So stacks are about the same here.
Now Jam's going back and forward to trying to mess with K1llsen's head just a little bit here, but both of them.
Now it's all about damage. Yeah, this machine gun was big.
Sorry, the heavy machine gun. And
I knew he wants to have like more armor.
They're going to make a big difference for any future engagements. Getting the earlier damage, the free damage against your opponents, it adds up so much.
Wow.
Moin, you give me always a good time watching you playstyle. Cheers from a fellow German.
Wow, Laserdark, vielen Dank, vielen Dank. Vielen Dank. Oh mein Gott. Wow. Du bist ja verrückt. Ei. Du bist ja verrückt. Danke, wirklich. Ganz fettes Danke. Thank you very, very much. Oh my God. You give me always a good time watching your playstyle. Cheers from a fellow German. I mean, man, what can I say? Like, this stream is already kind of a thanks to you guys. Following, watching, being with me, you know? What can I say now? Man. 100. Eurolaris. Man, you insane. Thank you very, very much. Vielen Dank, Mann. Dankeschön. Hey, NVC. Ja, schön dich dabei zu haben auf jeden Fall. Ich meine, was kann ich jetzt sagen, ey? Echt mal. Also schön natürlich alle euch dabei zu haben, ne? Aber wenn es natürlich so gefällt, das freut mich natürlich sehr. Klar, dafür mache ich das. Vielen Dank, Mann. Hey. Making me sweat here.
Chess that's unfolding here is they're just both delaying, both gonna offset timings, both biting that control in the area.
Oof.
Becoming a little bit more dominant. Without saying that, he's gone in aggressively.
Oh man, and again, you know, the LAN orb is so much worse than the online orb. In any situation on LAN, this would have been a kill. Like, I swear to you. Because and that's why at some point I stopped playing Ranger actually.
The mid area, Q1llsen becoming a little bit more dominant without saying.
Man, it didn't even do a lot of damage. Let's see. Let's see. Wait.
A little bit more dominant.
It did what? 26?
Without saying that, he's
26 damage.
Dramis actually somehow gets the conversion with the Pika.
That's like nothing. In any online situation, it would have killed him.
That was close, but also Q1llsen knows his prey is low. That's why he's gone flying in. There is no orb, so it's all just by foot, and he makes it count. But again,
I tell you, any online situation, it would have killed him. Because his hitbox on the server would have been a little behind. And that's what we are used to, because we only have online to practice, right? Now, LAN orb needs to be more accurate on the enemy model. Because there's the desync between the players is much smaller on LAN, of course, you know. So it really needs to be on. But like I said, that's why I at some point stopped playing Ranger, especially against faster champions.
What?
And that's actually a strength of Ranger in online environment, you know. Like you can play him really well against Anarchy because of the burst damage. You can play him really well against Ascena because of burst damage. But then here on LAN it doesn't work as good as online.
It's a messy couple of frags that was.
Yeah, we had such a slow start and then just a catastrophe over the course of the last 20 seconds.
Right.
Items are up, Mega's been picked up. Q1llsen hasn't gone for it yet. He's kind of and ahhing about it to see what he wants to do, but he's going for the battle of attrition, just go for the light, go for the heavy straight after. It's perfectly understandable. Was specified as possible, but it's delayed it very heavily. I like this from Q1llsen. This will definitely throw Dramis off if he decides to change his priority.
The big question here has to be done with the HMG. Hasn't got a lightning gun. Needs to do this old school. Orb comes out, tries to catch him mid-peak.
I was hoping to hit one good rocket here on him. That's why I pushed in. And I also, on top of it, I dodged Pika, of course. And he had to cancel it because he was scared. But I was hoping for a good rocket on him.
Pika doesn't actually succeed, and now he's worked himself out of position. They're both going to continue to rain down a little bit of pain from afar. Dramis respecting Q1llsen, though. I think that's a little bit of a mistake. Maybe not realizing how weak his opponent was and gives that up. He's in the heavy area, and you can see Q1llsen's respect, on the contrary, allowing Dramis to get away with that heavy. We continue this game of cat and mouse.
May I ask you what you thought of the tables? They use secret leg magnets. I heard they can be a little wobbly. Overall, they were alright. Of course, they are not as stable as my lead desk, because the legs is it called like that? Are much thinner, you know. So yeah, because of that, like the surface on top, everything was good. Like, and there's also like a big leather, magnetic leather top you can put on the surface, so you're not flat on the metal surface, which is actually quite a cool idea. To be fair, I like that concept a lot. Like really, the top was fine, but yeah, I mean it was. I have already been sitting on much more wobbly tables, you know, like really much more. So it was okay, especially, you know, you could set up your chair a little, that it's pushing a bit on the table. And then it wasn't wobbling around anymore, you know. So it was a little depending on how you sit on the desk itself. I mean, you could also, you know, put your belly a bit on it, and it would stop the shaking. So
yeah, this is a very difficult route to take.
I mean, they were okay, really. Oh man, these rockets were so good, actually. I mean, I don't understand why Dramis even did try to push here. Like, there was no reason for it, right?
Yeah, this is a very difficult route to take for Dramis. And this is not so much to be in too direct.
And 3 100 damage rockets. I mean, what are the odds?
It's a 3 directs in a row. What's that?
Yeah, that's the first questionable play by Dramis of the game, and K1llsen absolutely makes that one pay. Wasn't really a need to contest for that. Saying that he's actually gone out extra aggressive here. K1llsen.
And again, these rockets.
This is actually with a drop down. Oh,
But this is where I started to feel like so comfortable about myself, really.
You had the advantage in terms of stack, but not in terms of positioning.
3 directs in a row. I'm not going to be forgetting that in the long well. I can tell you that. It's not something you see every day. K1llsen keeping the high ground, coming up for his next mega in 7 seconds. As K1llsen now just double checking the whereabouts to see where he is, also collecting his hourglasses in case it does re-engage.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I did this here. Like, why did I give him the mega? I mean, maybe my idea was to take position for the next heavy, so I have a little easier time when he tries to push it. But I mean, I had orb ready, I had rockets, but at this point I stopped to trust orb plays, you know? So that was a little of a reason for me to not go for the mega fight here. I'm not sure if it was the right decision or not. Let's see what happens next.
Being picked up by Dramis, but Heavy's up in the next few seconds.
The damage.
Standing his ground with that heavy machine gun.
Another 15. Yeah.
And said, of course, every little helps in terms of.
Not sure if it was really worth it, to be fair.
This damage, which does add up over.
I mean, I have a major position again above him, you know, but still.
Yeah, but it's still very cagey from both players. K1llsen appreciates.
I mean, now this rocket, of course, it did help a lot.
That Dramis is going to
small armor is up again, though.
That big rocket.
Yeah, his rocket was big here.
By a similar counter from Dramis.
But now I had a good idea, actually.
Split between the items. So if anyone manages to get a clean pickup, they have the opportunity to scuttle himself across. And K1llsen's done exactly that, but he's been met by the LG of Dramis dropping into it. Nevertheless, K1llsen has the stack, and he takes another.
I mean, I'm not sure if I really did it intentional, you know, to set up for that kind of situation. It did work.
Brag. 4.5 minutes to go, but only 3 frags in it. But from what we've seen so
it was still, I'm not sure. I think I could have easily gone for the mega fight there. Like, really.
far, it's going to be difficult for Dramis to get himself a comeback as K1llsen is setting up nicely in the mid game.
Oh, that air rocket.
Saying that, that's what happens.
Unbelievable, but it's just that recovery process now. Dramis does manage to get all his HP, but no armor to his name as.
And now I think, yeah, I was like too slow going for the heavy now.
5 seconds though, and this is where he needs to make a.
If I would have taken the LG route, pushing the heavy, I could have easily done some good damage there. Like easily.
Heavy won't be contested in its entirety from K1llsen that time round, using that stroke. Not its full potential, but just get a little bit of info just to fully confirm what exactly going on top mid as Mega's coming out in the next 10 seconds.
Wait, is Dramis about to fall asleep here? I always like I love his static position, really. So fun. And how he just stays like it, really. I could never do that.
So I have to dive on in for the road room. That was a very dicey rocket there from K1llsen. Very close for Dramis, but Dramis, lucky, does save his bacon.
Ah, he did good damage here with heavy machine gun.
Still plenty of time with the mobility, the wide variety of strategy you can use of him.
But yeah, he still needed LG. I knew about it, so it was easy for me to get heavy here. But then again, good 60 damage here by him.
K1llsen delaying once again. Dramis obviously seeing that, so it's not a trick, but it has put more separation, and that increases the pressure on this rotation. K1llsen is definitely going to be able to pressure this, but Dramis knows exactly what's up. He's got his opponent trapped in. He knows he's done quite a lot of damage. Trying to force something out. No orb available just yet, and K1llsen's being whittled away. Dramis might even go for the kill here if he can get a hit big rocket. There it comes. Will he go flying on you? Yes, he will. The orb is there, though.
Oh, I did such a good escape here.
Way is he going to go for this mega? No, he's just playing a backwards game. Going on the rotation, but Dramis caught that. He's read it with.
And again, another good
Mega's
escape.
up and Mega's gone.
Got Mega.
That was super unfortunate. Really great play by Dramis, but K1llsen, the trickster he is, lives to fight another day.
Yeah, I think Dramis wanted that heavy anyway over the Mega, so it made perfect sense. But the Mega for K1llsen was huge.
No, I actually didn't. I mean, I saw him playing, yes, but I didn't look at it in detail.
In that department. Then this is where Dramis could tie things up a little bit easier than expected. 2 minutes 20 left. Dramis just standing his ground, just making sure to pick up this heavy before he approaches K1llsen once again. Some good damage though as he pushes him all the way over to the heavy machine gun area. That could be a good rocket for him, and now just trying to circle his way around and just.
But with all the damage Dramis is doing all the time, the stacks at this moment is about the same, you know.
Forcing him to take those same routes over the heavy machine gun to heavy area.
K1llsen is desperately trying to be efficient as he can with these major items, trying to put a little bit more delay on it, trying to use it at the very last second once he's taken damage. It's all about the small margins here, marginal gains, and Dramis is just trying to track this opponent down. He knows there's no orb, but at the same time, the positioning of K1llsen is such that he can't press in. The door is open to keep the pressure on this Mega, though. K1llsen's there, and he's so weak, but he just can't catch him. The orb is 20 seconds away. So Dramis can try and use that speed to his advantage. The question is,
impressive.
How proficient is K1llsen's next layer of defense going to be?
Yo, sure. Vielen Dank. Thank you very much for the resub. Welcome back.
He's in a solid spot. Dramis knows where he is, but that's not the issue. The issue is, can I catch him without taking too much damage? Because the refrag will happen otherwise.
I love that little rocket there through towards the hourglass.
Wow.
Dramis now. Looking to
That
try
was
and
plenty
at
of
least get
damage.
the
But I got Mega
try
again.
and catch him and throw
Now I
him.
need a small armor.
See, he's trying to do so much from a methodical standpoint, but K1llsen's just like, I'm gonna be on a defensive. I know.
But my reads already in this map, my reads on my opponent are already stepping up, you know, compared to my first game. Like I knew when he was going for me, like where he wants to go for me and how he wants to go for me.
I'm in some deep trouble, but as long as I get some good defensive rockets in, I can definitely even this out.
Yeah, that go toe to toe.
And this, I mean, look at the stacks. Before that situation happened, I had like 25, 50, 57, 100, 150 HP, 25, 26, 26 armor. Yeah, 26 armor. So a total of 176. Dramis has 100, 150, 100, 200, 210, I think.
Some good defensive
And now look at this LG fight.
rockets in, I can definitely even this out.
Yeah, that go toe to toe.
And look at the stacks. I mean, wow. What a setup, really. But of course, he came in with a little speed. I was ready for him about how he pushes me. But I had the perfect position to it. So he wasn't able to do as much damage to me as I did to him.
K1llsen can't get away, but he's done so much damage. Dramis is going to go on the aggressive here. The peak is not up either. The heavy machine gun's there, but oh my gosh, K1llsen gets away once again. Yes, they might trade items, but this is the last hurrah for Dramis. There is nothing left in the tank. There's nothing left in terms of the timing. He's got to make it happen now, Lethal. The refrag's there, but K1llsen's got in, and he's got the winning frag.
That was so good there from K1llsen. Such great defense overall. He's been waiting for the opportunity to get out for the last 3 minutes. And for a Ranger, it's not easy. Yes, you have that orb, but of course, orbs don't come every second. It's going to be one of those situations where he was able to get out so many times. But he made the right reads. He made the right assumptions on what Dramis is going to be up to here. And for a 6-2 victory compared to what it could have been due to the stack Dramis had most of the time, very, very efficient indeed. 20 items to the 17 of Dramis. A very close affair indeed, but that's going to be the first map heading in the way of K1llsen. But you kind of feel like, from Dramis' perspective, there were so many occasions where he probably thought, if I only had a rail, each and every single time, at least 3 or 4 different situations. But it's good stuff from K1llsen, definitely looking a lot better, very calculated approach compared to what we saw yesterday, and Dramis knows that, I wouldn't say it's a tall order, but now he's got to go back-to-back maps, but we are going to the next map. I think it'll be, was it Ruins next? So there should be something for him to discuss and see what we can.
Hey,
maybe
iPass,
assume is
thank
gonna
you.
happen during
Thank
this
you very
matchup,
much.
because it's not something you normally see every day with
Thanks
the
to
Slash and
Lily.
the Galena.
Thank you.
No, not at all. And that map one was fantastic from both sides. It was the smallest of margins from start to finish.
Why do you prefer the wired hero over the wired? I mean, I don't prefer it.
Player was positioning and managing that mid-range.
It's just that the hero version is mostly available.
In terms of scoreline, slightly more refined in terms of execution, and that, yeah, you rightly put it, the last 3 minutes of defensive.
Like here in Germany, the PMW is not as much available anymore.
Yes, he has an orb, but it's got a big cooldown, and so he had to play that absolutely perfectly, and he did. We do move onto a map now that is radically different in terms of scope. Has a new weapon in the
aim was okay. Like if setup was alright, my aim was like super good. In between it was okay. Like alrightish chip damage, alrightish weapon use.
Try and build that overstack and be wary of the angles, because that's what the Slash will bring. She can open up the angles, she can get into your face earlier, she can cut up those exit routes. So getting out of that heavy area sometimes becomes a task in itself. So I am a bit fearful for Dramis here. I do think the Slash is a great pick, and it's going to be a cagey game once again.
Yeah, when we see those fights around heavy, it just ends up being a bloodbath. It's like a street fight outside a nightclub, pretty much, isn't it? It's just ridiculous what we see there, depending on the circumstances. But we've seen some great players in the past have certain patterns with the totems, so that at the same time they're putting pressure on their opponent, but still staying in the area and in the proximity of the totems to help himself further with that overstack, rather than prioritising those unorthodox positions you normally would with the totems. But yeah, that's going to be another sight for sore eyes for K1llsen if he doesn't keep tabs of that. But of course, with the speed and mobility of the Slash, there's certainly be too many problems about that. It's just going to be a very tough task indeed. Again, Hourglass is going to be a huge factor for Dramis, and K1llsen's got to work out what routes he's going to take, going towards the courtyard to get the Hourglass, of course, with the heavy jump pad. So, and the only other thing I do worry is if K1llsen gets that early frag lead, 1 or 2 frags, because that's when he's going to feel like in the long term it's going to get tougher and tougher as the clock ticks.
No, 100%. Getting
yeah, we had a little chat here. He was Dramis was making fun of my Slash with baby face on.
Behinding us a Slash is painful. We saw it in the previous map when K1llsen didn't have a speed advantage.
And then I told him, yeah, it's the cutest Slash in the world.
That's exactly the situation going to be, but a little bit harder. What I'm definitely going to watch out for there is it's going to be the rail, going to be the way rockets. They're going to be the 2 pivotal moments in terms of opening up the game. I don't expect it to be a massively high-scoring one. I don't expect it to be massively quick either. Let's just see how Dramis plays this one. We know he wants to fight and wants to play fast, but he just has to rein that in for this particular
impressive.
It's weird. You kind of feel like
you made it.
They've taken each other's characters or taken each other's champions in that respect. Normally you expect Dramis to probably,
John, hey.
It's more of that reactive play.
Welcome back to the K1llsen fam. Thank you very much, man.
Trying to go for those drive-by rails, etc. But now the shoes on the other
Thanks
foot,
a lot,
he's
man.
the one who's
Hope you're doing great.
Apply with what he needs to contend with here against that Slash. But it's interesting to see him play with the Galena. I'd like to see exactly what he's going to be up to and what he's going to be able to do.
Why do we have in-ear and over-ear headphones? I mean, we're sitting there on stage. The commentators are not that far away from us. And if we wouldn't use the over-ears, we would hear the commentators, you know.
Whilst controlling these items against the speed of the Slash. So second map of the series.
I mean, so far it's okay actually, really. I didn't feel a lot of pain over the past week, I would even say. There were moments I felt a little exhaustion, but no pain so far.
K1llsen's only got a rocket to work with. The 4th position. K1llsen sneaks away with the LG for now.
Did you earn QPL belt in game?
He knows what's up. He knows his opponent is there. There's nothing you can do. Dramis say, hey bro, come out play. But K1llsen's got nothing to do with that. Second totem's up now. Probably dropped on the jump pad. There we go. Now, the other challenge for K1llsen in this kind of situation will be just getting down into that area, trying to clear those totems out. It's a question mark whether he actually goes out of his way to do that. Just moving into the heavy space can be dangerous, but he knows his opponent is...
That rail was so painful actually to happen, because otherwise I would have easily have control over the heavy area already at this point of the game. But because he hit that rail, he was allowed to push me.
And that's exactly what.
So I had to leave it.
Sneak on down, close it out.
And he was a little lucky here that he didn't get pushed to the jump pad. And then it would have been an easy kill for me.
Nearly clipped by that rail there, but not.
But then easy restack, like top armor.
You can see
is
already the
up.
game plan. I've seen.
Now I need to set up a little far away from Mega Health, because I mean I set up a delay on the items, like a little gap. So I had to delay him now as much as I can in order to secure the Mega.
Do something very similar with the totems. Like you could have one on the back stairs and a couple around that heavy jump pad, or maybe one courtyard just to help himself out, and then just take those same routes. He needs to have as much advantage as possible, and if he does get the overstake eventually, it does. Yeah, sure, he doesn't need the Mega as much, but it's just nice to still take it away from your opponent. But the heavy will always be in play, and he'll always have that slightly larger stack for his opponent to contend with. But Dramis gets to back away once again. They're still both down there. Let's see if he can at least hold on.
Yeah, now map control is firmly in the corner of K1llsen. He'll be picking up this heavy, and he knows exactly when the Mega's going to be having timed it. There's a big separation between the two. Nicely placed totem to forward that information, but Dramis has just set up enough to sway K1llsen from any sort of aggression on to that middle area. And we're seeing what we expected. Caginess coming out from both sides, saying that huge rocket on the drop down. Great awareness from K1llsen. Back to square one for Dramis. And punishing the exit lethal is a really pivotal moment. As I mentioned, there's only really 3 exits there. Only 2 that get used a lot. K1llsen spotted coming out of one of them. He couldn't punish it to any degree, and that's exactly why
those 2 rockets
flying through. And
perfect.
This is the area you don't want to be in. And there's a Galena in that middle area, punished as soon as he shows face.
Yeah, this is where the worry starts, and K1llsen hasn't even touched the rail yet, which is very uncharacteristic of him. It's been 2.5 minutes in. Just prioritizing the rockets and LG here, some great rockets indeed. This is easy going to be a 2-0 lead for K1llsen, and this is where I'm going to start to worry even more for Dramis. Kind of playing into his game, and this he cannot let things spiral out of control this early on.
No, this is the danger now. Now K1llsen's got this lead, he can just play even slower and more defensive around this middle part of the map and just prohibit.
Yo, Gonzo, vielen Dank.
Rail, at least for free. Because what are you meant to do in Dramis issues without that rail? Like, you just have to rain down pain with rockets. It's really difficult. He has managed to get in, get that rail, and get down to the heavy though. So all things considered, amazing play from Dramis, plus that connection not exchanged from K1llsen. So really definitely the best of a bad situation. Dramis popping out on top as well. He knows the next item up is a Mega, but he just hasn't got the speed to get across.
It's so difficult on Ruins. I spoke about it before. On Blood Covenant, yeah, sure, at least you've got the verticality to kind of trap your opponent when you see fit. But on Ruins, it's just an entirely different story, especially if you're hitting rails like that as well. This is just slowly denting Dramis' stack as we go forward, and just consistently finding the totems also. And Dramis just sitting there down below. Is K1llsen to staying above with that Mega coming up in the next few?
Yeah, this was actually a little risky to do. But I was confident in my aim, you know.
Few seconds, as he does have the chance to try and contest both items, but with the heavy position to.
Oh no, it's not that situation yet.
It is. It's
but there will be a moment we're gonna have a LG fight there.
It'll be very tough for K1llsen just to drop on down and make a go of it. 4 minutes in, though, still with that 2 frag lead.
Yeah, just toying with each other.
Yeah, sun is blinding.
For position here. K1llsen set up extremely early. Dramis is going to drop, but he's not going to commit. He hasn't hit any rails, so far too risky to make a maneuver down. And eating that rail in exchange means K1llsen might now feel confident to push in for this Mega.
Yeah, I wanted to, but the totem actually slowed me down enough that, you know, put enough delay on me that I couldn't go to Mega anymore. Otherwise, I would have pushed on the item.
Delay himself and check it, so we'll take the safer route and just make sure he punishes any sort of exit.
But still, good exit damage here when he tried to get some armor.
And there you go, 2 big rockets there, eating up all of the stack of Dramis. And it's so difficult to even get the lights because they're completely out of his rotational remit. And he's being punished for even daring to show face in a room of the light armor.
This is so worrying. Now he's going to pick up the heavy, and it's just going to be constant pressure once again from K1llsen. And there seems to be no light at the end of the tunnel for Dramis, but he's done quite a lot of damage there. With the benefit of the rockets, 30 HP. Can he get it done? Neither player wants to take the risk, but you could see Dramis was edging towards temptation just to at least get that first frag. But will he be able to? No, he does not, as K1llsen comes right from behind and gets the 4th one.
Yeah, and we're seeing it in action. Just the lack of maneuverability and speed from Dramis on that Galena is a big problem. He's getting picked apart from K1llsen, who is cutting him off at every exit. And the lack of speed means Dramis is far too conscious of his positioning to get the light armors. He's reluctant to go out of this middle space. It's really, really hard for him to force positioning, and his rail hasn't been connecting anywhere near as much as he would have.
Yeah, I mean, here you can already see, like, every time that Dramis tried to push in whatever way, I was always ready for him, and I always at least gave him the same amount of damage he gave to me.
Wanted, in part because K1llsen,
like, every single time.
Limiting those rail fights.
So my reading on my opponent was already working like really well.
He's now he's hit 14. Sorry, he's 5-14, hit 50%. For Dramis' side, he's hit 33%.
That was a good setup by him.
With K1llsen Dramis at the moment, 4 minutes in, and this is not looking good. And I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, no, this was actually quite risky. Like, look at the stacks we have here right now.
4 minutes in, and this is not looking good.
But that's what I said. Like, at this point, I felt quite comfortable about my aim, right? But look at the stacks. He actually has more than I have.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of feel like even with 6 minutes left to play, but K1llsen's gonna try to kill him if he does make.
But I still managed to survive. It's 41 HP.
Trying to claw back 5 frags against a slash with 4 minutes left. I know 4 minutes sounds like a long time, but on a map like this, it just feels like nowhere near for a lifetime. It's going to be so.
Hey, wasted. Dankeschön. Thank you.
Indeed, but yeah, even if he plays it really slow, it kind of feels like it's a bit too late for him to do that now. Mega's up in the next 12 seconds. Heavy's up now. And it looks like K1llsen's just going to make that rotation back and forth for the items.
Yeah, and the game management from K1llsen is spot on. He's not taking any unnecessary fights. He's not exposing himself. So even here, he doesn't want to take a fight. He's just trying to do any sort of damage. More than enough damage he did. Obviously, eating a rail is not ideal. And this is the first time in a while K1llsen's been semi-vulnerable. Can Dramis make more of this situation?
Yo, Scrims, thank you. Yeah, thank you very much.
Question was looking for, and I just saw that hits him in the end, left him on 69 HP, does recover a little bit. To the frame.
What? Did he say 69 HP?
Himself and being available, but does manage to catch him as he went up that heavy jump pad. 3 minutes left, decides to go back on through. I like that little play, but the only problem is the light hasn't appeared.
Yo, TSC, thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, appreciate it.
Time is ticking.
Good to have you.
And you see, that's the first time all game Dramis had a run of play that went his way, got an exchange of damage that went his way, got the items, and caught K1llsen out of position. He made him punished. 7.5 minutes before that, K1llsen was playing pretty much perfect. So the question is, can he find 4 more opportunities within 2.5 minutes to even tie this up?
Really don't know, but he needs to take some huge risks, which he has done. He needs to dive on in.
Yeah, this. I mean, this look. This here. This raid shot.
Huge risk, which he has done.
Look. Look where it's going. I saw it already. Like this ray shot. No, it was actually, it was not, I mean, even it looks like Dramis' shot, but it was my shot. It was my shot going through the wall, like, somehow. I don't know. Like, look. He rates me now.
To take some huge risks, which he
and now?
Done.
I tried to rail him, and it goes somehow through the wall there.
He knows now that he just needs to just run with it, because at this point, 2 minutes left, there's no messing around, there's no thought process. You have to overextend and be able to try and challenge him in any way you can, and this could be a good start here, but he doesn't kill some of the defensive rockets.
Yeah, that was, I mean, still, like, Dramis' idea of pushing me here was, like, really big brain move. Like, not gonna lie. He just had the wrong weapon in his hands, but he didn't have rockets anyways. So, yeah, I guess in the end it still wasn't a good idea to push like that, right? Without rocket. But if he would have had a rocket, it would have been the best move possible.
In any way you can, and this could be a good start here, but he...
Yeah, and because he ran out of LG ammo, like, I was lucky he was low on ammunition. Because of that, maybe I would have still killed him. But I would have been left even lower.
Yeah, it should be more than enough.
And I was already weak.
And now just catch him on the spawn with that rail. Looking for the second if he comes up, and will he be able to catch him? 1, 2, 3, catches him again, and now just one more rail to try and seal that 7th frag, but decides to leave him.
The big problem is, because of the time and because of the situation, Dramis had to...
And here at this point, with that rail shot...
The problem is, because of the time...
I was like, oh, okay. I'm feeling it a little better today. Okay, let's go.
Situation, Dramis had to overextend. He went looking for his opponent.
And then this happens. Yeah, I can totally remember it. I was like, okay, yeah. Aim is looking good today.
Dramis had to
and then
overextend.
he runs straight at me. And you missed that shot, you know? Oh my god.
His opponent was waiting on the Mega.
I mean, it didn't matter at this point anymore.
For the heavy. And by that point, Dramis had no choice. He couldn't let his opponent get
some more confidence even, you know? It's always good to collect.
She wrote, unfortunately, Lethal. There is no chance now that Dramis comes back into this and forces to come back. He might get a frag, he might get 2, but he's definitely not going to get 6. And you have to look at this and say, amazing game management from K1llsen. Again, we know he's renowned for amazing plays, flashy plays, but this was more of a masterclass in strategy. And the way in which he had that game management, born out of respect for Dramis, shows why he is the previous champion and one of the favorites for this one.
Certainly is indeed. I'd like to see how K1llsen can do more from that hyper-aggressive approach, but defensively, he was very, very good. That's probably some of the best defensive plays I've seen so far from him, especially on that corrupted keep game. But in this one, yeah, Dramis realised around that 2nd or 3rd frag mark, he was fighting a losing battle here. Just couldn't get the overstack going. K1llsen just been really well.
And here I was again. Oh, okay, aim is still okay. All right.
Maybe his plan of action coming into
Let's go.
Matchup. 25 seconds left, 8 frags behind. The only thing Dramis could do now is maybe try his best to keep the score respectable, but if anything, here we go, gets the 2nd frag. So, yeah, a bit of a shame there from Dramis' part. I think we expected a little bit more, but it's like you said, it's all about the consistency from that approach to keep being a nuisance for your opponent, and he did that all series long. So, GG's all round, as Dramis will be heading into the losers bracket. K1llsen will be moving forward onto the winner's side with that 2-0 victory.